Yeah, I mean, yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm curious of what your thoughts are. I mean, farmers just historically are just super gritty, and I mean, you're tough in the sense of you have to prepare for droughts and bad weather or a low yielding crop season, whatever the case is. And no one's been really there to bail you out. Now we have 2020, and we're printing money like never before to bail everybody out. What's your take on that in terms of what would you tell Main Street or businesses to avoid something like that in the future?
Ooh, that's a big one. I don't know. You touched on a lot of things there, but agriculture is always going to have ups and downs, especially the peanuts, right, are harvested in the middle of hurricane season on the North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia coast. So we always are dealing with fluctuations in price and supply. That piece of it is challenging. As far as government intervention on bailing businesses out, it's been challenging from an employment and production standpoint at times to keep everybody working, as well as letting. I got to be careful. I don't understand how to answer this really.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily even asking you to say that other people are doing anything. I'm just, but you all have to be really careful and prepare for those downside moments. Whereas,
sure,
the rest of the world is.
Well, yeah, you have your hurricane moment, and that hurricane moment, it literally is a hurricane where, in some places, I guess FEMA can come in to some extent and give you some cash for that. I don't know. I guess that's what you're saying, Tim. It's like, how do you prepare?
Yeah, I mean,
the hurricane-like thing.
You guys pretty much, hey man, it's a terrible thing that with COVID, but you guys on the other hand are kind of like hold my beer. We deal with this kind of stuff all the time, and
sure. Well, yeah, agriculture is always going to have its challenges, like I was saying with the hurricanes. But I mean, we've been fortunate that there's always been a supply of peanuts. If there's stress there every fall, every harvest, and then there's for us, that's a different kind of stress because we're building inventory in July, August, September with the hopes of selling it in November, December, based on historical data. And so every fall is very stressful for us because you're as a very seasonal, gift-oriented business, we're putting a lot of eggs in the basket that we're gonna sell product in November, December. Is hopefully they're peanuts to produce. So we're typically like wine. Like we'll get this year's crop that's about to go in the ground. We'll start cooking. They'll harvest it in the fall of 21, and we'll start cooking that the following year. So if we have a really bad hurricane season this fall, that will really be impactful on what happens next year for us. So it's stressful. There's a lot of, I mean, I think everybody has issues to deal with,
Do you look at because we are in kind of a seasonal style of business, if you look at the region as a whole, do you look at other industries completely different than yours and say, here's how they're handling to be a seasonal business? Or how do you, as kind of the sales and marketing guy at a business, say, hey, here's what other seasonal businesses are doing too, and here's maybe something that we can implement? How do you look at that?
I look at more on how can we make our business less seasonal. And so how do we create other holidays, other events, or other partnerships with folks that are busier in the spring, so that's part of my strategy, is looking at how do we become less of a seasonal business, because ideally we've got a year-round part-time crew that is working full-time, basically July through December, and then they're working part-time January through July. So I want to get us to a point where we're able to employ them year-round, and so that'd be good for a lot of different reasons. So that my goal is to just grow our sales off-season.
I think about like a Busch Gardens in that kind of situation where they had like 5 months a year, and now they figured out, okay, here we can be a subscription company, and there's some other holidays in there that we can actually be making money off of. We don't have to be at full capacity the same way that we were, but we can actually still be in business and be rolling in cash too.
So we made a conscious effort to be a little more diversified in our store count. About 20 so years ago, we started doing a little more wholesale business. So we worked with grocery stores like Wegmans and the Fresh Market, and other regional chains around the country that really help offset some of our downtime in the winter months. And those businesses are continuing to grow, and I think that's really helped, just diversifying. It's great. We're mostly a direct consumer business and have been, but having more partners that are open year round that are selling our product for us has been really helpful as well. And so we continue to look for avenues like that makes sense for our brand.
Someone who's been directly involved within the startup community for almost a decade, I want to talk to you about a serious pain point: spending a ton of time trying to understand the business landscape in the 757. That's time that should be focused on growing the business. At Startwheel, we're here to help you by compiling all of the news you need to know about in one place. Now there's no need to search multiple websites. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.